Hello, and welcome back to my old Kentucky Gnome, the only pod for Appalachian elves.
Wait, what are you doing? That's the wrong podcast.
I'm sorry, Steve.
That's okay. Welcome back to the Vinyl Word Podcast. As always, I'm Steve Beach.
And I'm Brian Mayer. Hello.
This has been a long time in waiting, I feel like. Like, we gone an entire month without an episode.
Yeah, life is busy, man. I mean, like, we've had people graduating, finishing school. We've had external commitments with family.
Yeah.
It's just been busy. But happy to be back.
Yep, me too. Yeah, but we don't do this for a living, because if we did, we would starve to death and lose our homes in a month. So this is why we do this, just for fun as a hobby.
Such a bad idea.
Yeah, it would be. It very much would be. But yeah, it's good to be back. Good to be doing a new record this time. I did want to take a couple of minutes and just kind of talk about our podcast a little bit. We've been getting some feedback, actually, from a few people.
Which is awesome.
Which is pretty cool, yeah. But yeah, we put some of our episodes out on SoundCloud and gotten some feedback from there too. So if you're listening on there, thank you for listening. There was also a comment on one of our very most recent episode. So this guy says, the banter back and forth during the original broadcast reminds me of the Mystery Science Theater 3000. I just want to take a minute to address that. I take that as a compliment, and as I'm sure you do too.
I do very much.
But I don't want people to think that we're trying to mimic or copy Mystery Science Theater. I mean, we very much enjoy. If we were a band, we wouldn't be like a tribute band, like playing the Beatles music.
Right.
We would just say that we're inspired by, with our own music.
Right.
So I just want to clarify that.
Right. It wouldn't be Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. It would be Larry in the Sea with Sapphires or something.
No, it wouldn't even be that. It wouldn't even be that. But, if you're listening to us and you enjoy that type of humor, obviously you're continuing to listen, so thank you. But just know, we're not trying to copy somebody else, even though we're very much inspired by Joel and Mike and all the others and stuff, and we enjoy watching those now, even old ones and new ones,
yes,
too.
I am a shameless nerd who actually owns all of the episodes. So,
there you go.
It is a natural comparison. But yeah, we appreciate it. We hope you guys are listening and just enjoying it without thinking too much of, they're trying to fit into a box.
Right. We're not. We don't have puppets. We're not pretending we're in space or anything like that.
Yeah, well, I guess. And so Steve got some feedback. I got a little bit of feedback too that I wanted to respond to.
Yeah, there was a little bit of negative, I think.
Well, I'm not sure, but there were two common things that people asked me. One is, I want to just remind people that my parents were married at the time of my birth.
Okay.
And the second thing that people asked, it's physically impossible, and it also hurts my feelings a little bit. So maybe we can be a little more positive next time. So, but I'm happy that you're at least responding.
You're at least listening and responding.
Yeah, so we got a floor.
Some feedback. Hey, there we go.
We can build.
We can raise the bar a little bit.
Please.
But yeah, so our new record, you've got that there, Brian.
Yep, I do. Ethel Barrett, and tells true-to-life missionary stories.
Yeah, it's not Ethel Merman.
Nope. And although
Hollywood,
I know you'll be swell. Although she does kind of look like Ethel Merman a little bit.
Yeah, she does.
This record is from 1966, Steve. Gospel Light Publications, and this is a record that would have been played in the 60s and 70s to a youth group. And the one that we are listening is for preschoolers specifically. And you're going to hear some interesting stuff. You're going to hear some sped up record play that I think is supposed to sound kind of like the Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yes, kind of.
But it's just...
Well, this is low-grade technology.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah, they literally just sped up the tape to incomprehensible. So,
Right.
There's nothing to actually benefit from trying to hear it.
Yeah. There's also some descriptions that would probably not fit today.
No,
of children.
Yeah,
Yeah. We'll just leave it at that. Mm-hmm. All right.
Well, Steve, without further ado, let's drop the needle and get going.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful day for a baseball game, folks.
Once there was a little lame boy, and he lived in a faraway
There's the first one.
called
Yep.
Congo. He lived in a little town where all the houses were made of mud and the roofs of the houses were made of leaves.
And they were
all
built by the
children
three little
hopped and
pigs.
skipped and played in the meadows and watched the funny monkeys hopping
Is she going to
from
call him the
tree to
lame boy the
tree,
whole
and
time,
the
Steve?
Oh, I
pink and
hope
gray
not.
parrots fly about and
What do you
scold
think his
each
name
other.
was?
Matt,
And what
maybe?
with the birds and the
You were
monkeys
so
and
mean.
the mothers and the
I'm just
fathers
thinking.
and the children.
Oh,
My,
Yep.
it was a
There we go.
nice
And we slowed this down, folks. It's absolutely filthy.
it
But
is.
the little lame boy couldn't hop and skip and play in the meadows.
I guess she
or
is.
watch the monkeys
Yep.
and birds like the other
We also have an
children.
announcer who's politically incorrect.
He had to stay in bed on his mat all the time because he couldn't walk.
Yeah, he
His
couldn't walk,
back
so
was
his eyes
crooked,
couldn't work.
and his legs
That's
were
the way
crooked.
lame works.
And he not only couldn't walk, he couldn't even sit up.
His mind was
And that would
crooked.
have
His
gone
motives
on
were
forever
crooked.
and forever the rest of his whole life, except that one day he heard something that made him get right up on his elbow.
It was a shotgun.
What is that? He wondered.
And why was he only
And
up on
he
one
heard
elbow,
the
Steve?
children
Because he was
running
poor and
shouting
they
to
couldn't
each other
afford
outside.
two.
What is that? He called to his sister, and she called back from outside the house. It's a big truck. It's a
Oh, it's
big truck, and
Gravedigger,
it's coming
the
right
monster
into
truck.
The village.
Sunday!
Sure enough, it was a big truck.
We'll sell
winding
you the
its
whole
way
seat,
across the
but you'll
meadow
only
toward
need
The edge.
Closer it came, and closer, until it
Until
got
it hit
right
the
in
house.
the middle of the village and stopped. And out of the truck came one missionary nurse, two missionary nurses, three missionary nurses.
Three missionary nurses.
You know what these missionary nurses did first thing? The first
They
thing
got into their
did was
positions,
have
and
Sunday
then they
school,
started...
even
And they
though
gave them
it
meds.
wasn't
Yep.
Sunday. They sang songs.
They
It was-
called it Tuesday School.
Exactly. Top of the
And
first
they
here,
looked
we
at
got
pictures,
Miss Miggsy on the
and
mound.
While they were looking at pictures, one of the missionary nurses told them a story. She told them
Do you know what
all about the
HMOs
Lord
are?
Jesus and the things he
We're going to
did.
teach you all
And
about
she
them.
told them how Jesus made sick people get well again. And the little lame boy's sister listened. And
We're
the
going to
teacher
teach
told
you
them how
about
Jesus made the
pre-existing
blind man
conditions.
see,
Oh.
and how he made the lame man walk. And the little lame boy's sister listened. And then the teacher told them how much Jesus loved them.
less lame? He sucks!
And
He
after
tells
the
lame
story
jokes.
was over, they sang again, and they learned a verse from the Bible.
They sang,
Jesus went
"School's
about doing
out
good.
for
That was the
summer."
verse they learned. And then they all lined up, and the missionary nurses began to look
Taught
them
a
over
line
to
dance.
see if they were all well.
Ding, ding, ding,
or
ding,
to
ding,
see
ding,
if they
ding.
needed
Grab your
any
partner,
medicine.
do-si-do.
The nurses looked down the children's throats and made them say, "Ah."
Na 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 na! Na na na
Open your
na!
mouth wide. Say it again. Ah. Ah.
Ah! And they
There
all
was some-
celebrated.
And then the nurses put medicine and bandages on their hurts, and they gave them pills, and the little lame boy's sister got
And
right
that-
in line with the rest
And that was
of
the
children.
beginning of Big Pharma, folks.
And finally, it was her turn. And the nurse said, "And now, little one, what do you have wrong with you? And where do you hurt?" "Oh,
Where does it
I
hurt?"
don't hurt anywhere."
Pretty much around the big bloody spots.
"It's my brother who hurts. He hurts all over." "Well, why doesn't he come to get help?" asked the nurse.
Because he
"He
hurts.
can't," said the
You
little
don't listen
sister.
very well.
"He can't even walk. Not even a little bit."
'Cause I hit him with a
And,
baseball
do you-
bat.
Do you suppose can
He stole
Jesus
my
help
teddy
him?"
bear.
"Well, we'll see," said the nurse. "We'll just go to see him as soon as we're finished. And
Do you
we'll
know what
ask
his
the Lord
copay is?
Jesus to help us know what to do."
Has he met his
Oh,
deductible?
joy!
Is it
What would
family
happen
or
next?
individual?
Bottom of the third, we have a Goldsmith up to
Well,
bat.
the
He's 2 for
nurses
4
went
today.
home with a little lame boy's sister is what
does like
happened
to score.
next. And as soon as they'd taken care of all the sick people, they went straight to
Colin
the
Busky
little
is
lame
pitching
boy's
today,
house.
but oddly enough,
And
he's
they
not
looked
throwing
at
many
it
strikes.
all over,
Strange.
very carefully. And the lame boy's father and mother watched, and his sister watched, and he watched too.
Bunch of
They
peeping toms.
all watched and waited.
like to watch.
And finally, the missionary nurse said, "Well, I can't
Why
make
are
the
you
little
all
crooked
being
legs
so
better by
weird?
putting medicine or bandages on them.
Or
And I can't make a
or-
little
or-
crooked
or-
back
or-
better
or-
by giving him a pill. But I'll tell you what I can do. If you will let us put him in our truck and take him to the big hospital, Jesus will
The
help
big
our
hospital.
missionary doctors
Not the
know
little
just
hospital.
how to make
That
him
one
better.
sucks.
Shouldn't they take all the children there to the big hospital?
And the
Apparently
little lame boy's
not.
mother talked with the little lame boy's father, and they whispered and whispered together, and finally they turned to the nurse and they said,
Did you know he was worth that much?
The mother said, "We will let him go," the father
We have to
said.
take this
And
deal,
his
Martha.
sister said, "Oh, goody!" Just like
When
that.
he leaves, can I have his room?
Oh, the little lame boy was happy.
Do you get the feeling
And his
she's
sister was
taking
happy.
vocal lessons from
And his
the
mother and
lady from
father
the
were
Love
happy.
Shack from the
And the
B-52s?
nurses
Love
were
Shack,
happy, too.
baby, love Shack.
Oh,
Bottom of the
my, what a
fourth,
scream there
Maddox
was.
up to
And
bat.
the lame boy's
He's
mother
1
and
for 2
father
today
put clothes in
with 1 home
bundles,
run.
The little lame boy's clothes and the mother's clothes. For yes, she was going along too.
I'm leaving you,
And
Harold!
at last they were ready. And they put the little lame boy and his mother into the truck, and everybody said goodbye. And the big truck started.
Bye-bye, bye-bye.
And away they went, over the fields and up and down the hills. The little
And the little lame boy
was off
bounced
to the
around in the back of the
hospital,
truck.
where the doctors who loved the Lord
Ow,
Jesus
ow,
would
ow,
help
this hurts.
make
This
him
isn't
better.
helping. This is making it worse.
Good thing he's lame, they said.
And
And they
rolled
laughed
and
and
rolled.
laughed.
Finally, the truck came up to the hospital.
They didn't even
And
stop.
stopped.
They just slowed down and threw him out the
Workers
side.
at the
no.
hospital lifted the little lame boy out of the truck and carried him into the hospital
Where do you want him?
and put him, whoops, into a nice big bed.
Whoops!
And
On
he
the
found
sidewalk.
himself in a great big room with lots of other beds and lots of other children.
Making electronics for
Doctors
Americans.
Came and looked and felt and shook
Jeez,
their
this
heads
story's
and
so bad.
whispered to each other and looked again. And
Let's make a
pretty
break
soon
for
they
it
said,
tonight, 9 o'clock.
"Little lame boy, we are going to talk together
Oh my
and
gosh.
ask Jesus to help us know how we can make you better."
Right after I have a cigarette.
I have a name.
Oh,
You be
my,
quiet,
was
little lame
exciting.
boy.
They took pictures of his poor little crooked legs, and they
And then
put
they
him
gave
to
him a
sleep
hat.
and made his crooked legs all straight again.
They
Then they
changed
put
the
him to sleep
lighting.
again and made his
Do you have
back
social media
straight.
here? No?
Now,
Good.
of course, this all took a long, long time.
We've been working on some new TikToks. Get over here, lamey.
Oh, no.
And the little lame boy's mother went home, and the little lame boy stayed at the hospital.
forgot
and
all
rested
about
and
him.
Rested
It
in
took
bed,
2 hours.
waiting to get strong again.
That hospital's a long way
And while he
away.
was resting,
Good thing it wasn't a vet
missionary nurses
hospital.
helped him to move
A
his
horse
legs.
hospital. Oh, no.
Oh. And they told him stories about Jesus. And they let him color pictures of the stories
Did they learn about Jim
Jesus.
Caviezel then?
And
think so.
he learned things he had never heard before.
Oh,
never
I don't
heard
wanna know.
these things, he told them. I never knew there were books about Jesus. Oh, yes, said the nurses. We have books about Jesus that were sent from way
They're printed on this
across
neat
the
thing
ocean.
called paper.
Boys and girls and
You
Sunday
don't
schools
know about
all
that
over
because you live
give
in a
their
mud
money to buy
hut.
books to send us. Boy, they sure
And
must
people
love
buy
you,
them
said
from
the
us so
little
we can
boy.
buy private jets.
They sure do.
And gold chairs.
Said the nurses.
I need to
And
be
they
closer
told
to
him
God.
That the Lord Jesus loved him too. And he listened.
I'm a
Listen.
sinner.
And then one day he said, I love Jesus too. I love him more
Aw.
and more and better every day.
I love him more than anybody
Oh,
else.
That's wonderful, said the nurses.
I've
And
learned it's a
that's
competition,
wonderful,
and I'm gonna win.
Because it was Jesus who helped us to make you well. Well? But
Well,
was
that's a
the
deep
little
subject.
lame
Yeah.
boy well? Was he really well? He was soon going to find
Sometimes I feel like I am looking at the world. from
Bottom of the
bottom
fifth
of the
now.
ground.
Maddox is up to bat. He's 1 for 3 today for the Reds.
One day, the doctors and nurses told the little lame boy he could sit up. And
Sit up. Do it.
tried,
They also had him fill out
and he
forms.
tried, and he tried. And finally, he, sat
Got one
right
out.
up in bed. Then one day,
And the nurse came
doctors
in and grabbed the
nurses told him
bedpan.
He could
Yep.
stand up. And he tried.
He was so
he
constipated it sounded like a
tried.
quarter hitting the ground.
Oh, no.
He tried.
As she
And
got
finally
choked.
he, stood right
Oh.
up on his
He
own
fell
two
and got a
feet.
concussion.
Then then one day, the
Well, we
doctor
all should have seen that
told him
coming.
he could walk. And he tried. And he tried. And he tried.
I'm always looking for a good fart joke. This is it right here.
Finally, he
Oops.
took one step and took another step and took another
Here he
step until
comes,
he
just
was
a walking down the
all
street,
by
singing
himself.
do-a-did-a-dum-diddy-do.
And then finally came the day when his mother and
So
his
the
father
lame boy
and
could
his
walk,
sister came
but he
to
was
get him
still
and to take him
lame.
back home again. Oh, that was a good day.
Bottom of the sixth,
That was a
Palmer's up to
glad
pitching
day.
today. Has a 2.3
Scurry there
ERA.
was. They got his clothes ready, and the nurses got the truck ready, and the little lame boy who wasn't
They're gonna
lame
back that
anymore
truck up.
walked right out that hospital
Dennis
door
Anderson
and
for the
down
gravedigger.
steps and up to the truck, and they were all set to go. And then the little lame boy said, "Wait,
Stop! In the name
I want to
of
go
love.
for a walk first," he told his mother and his father and his
I'm
sister.
tired of everybody
"I
calling
want
me
to show you
names.
something." And
Do
the
I have a
doctors waited,
name? Yes,
and
lame
the
boy.
nurses waited, and the truck waited.
Can I know it?
They
No,
all
lame boy.
waited until the little
It's
lame
French.
boy
We'll call
who
you
wasn't
La
lame anymore
May.
took his mother and his father and his sister for a walk.
And his
And
cousin
they
and
walked,
his aunts and
they
his
walked,
grandparents.
and they walked right over to a little
Their house.
building right on the hospital
Turns out it was right
grounds,
next door.
and it was fixed
They
up
didn't
like
need a truck after all.
inside. And when they got inside, the little lame boy told them, "I learned all about the Lord Jesus while I was at the hospital," he said. "The nurses all told me about him.
I
Do
also
you know
learned
what?
about Cobra.
The Lord Jesus
you know
helped
it's
the
more
doctors
than
and
just
nurses
a
know how to
snake?
make me well again."
It's a type of health coverage that you have to
Nurses
pay
took me
all the
there sometimes
premiums
when
for.
they took me for a walk.
The common thing is they
And,
both can kill you.
Yes.
I want to thank the Lord Jesus right
They
now.
both involve snakes, but only one is
And
literal.
I want to tell him I love him.
Oh, time
too,"
for a seventh
said
inning
the
stretch.
little
You get up, get you some popcorn, a hot
"We
dog,
want to
and
tell
we're going
him
to
that
sing the
we love
old
him
baseball
too,"
game.
said his father. "Yes, we want to tell him that
Take
we love
me
him
out
too,"
to the
said his mother. And his sister said, "Me too." And they did.
Can I go first?
They thanked Jesus.
Shut up,
and
sister.
They told him they loved him right then and there.
And the Reds pull it out for 4-3 in the bottom of the ninth.
Too, don't you?
Thanks for
Don't you
coming
wanna
out to the
thank
ball
him
game
for
today.
sending missionaries to faraway places to make boys and girls well again? And remember the verse that the nurse taught the children. Jesus went about
Always pay your debts.
good.
And
The
stuff.
old ball game. Wow, there was so much wrong with that record.
You know, it seems like we say this about every record from the
I know.
60s.
I know.
Like, I'm looking forward to the next side.
Yeah, what's the other story called?
The corn that wouldn't grow. Yeah.
The corn that wouldn't grow.
And it's even
Yeah,
less exciting than it
I was
sounds.
going to say, yeah. Yeah, it's not real exciting either. Well, again, thank you guys for listening, as always. I'm so excited that we're starting to get more people that listen
Yeah.
to our podcast, which is exciting. And people from other countries, it's funny to look at the place where we host our podcast has statistics. And, of course, United States is the biggest one. But we have a faithful following of people in Germany, Brian. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Guten Tag, ja. No, it's more Swedish or something. But anyway, but it's interesting. So if you're listening in Germany, hey, drop us an email. Let us know, how you found out about us, because that would be good to know.
Yes, I'm pretty curious. Looking forward to just getting more and more listeners. Our goal for doing this is to just give you guys a quick in, quick out, and an enjoyable listen. We want to be like the Cool Ranch Doritos of podcasts. We want
Right.
you to open it up, eat a small serving of chips, and be like, that's good.
Pretty good, right?
But you don't want to do that for 2 hours.
Eat like 3 bags of Doritos.
Yeah, you also don't want us as a whole meal. So, we want to be get in, get out, and just be good. And
Right.
that's all we're looking for. We
Right.
want to be enjoyable to listen to. We want you to smile.
provide some laughs on your way into work or way back from work, right? You're running errands.
Yeah. So,
Just have a good time.
And if you got some feedback or you got a weird record, let us know. We'd be more than happy to eviscerate it in the nicest way possible.
Right. Yeah, you can always contact us at vinylwar22@gmail.com.
Yep. And I want to thank you guys for listening. And as a reminder, not all vinyl should be collected. Thank you.